Hello everyone, my name is Joseph and welcome back to the Popsicle Night channel. This video is sponsored by PTCGO the best place for you to get Pokemon TCG code cards. Are you looking to complete your card collection online for the latest set? PTCGO has everything you need. And please remember to use my code NIGHT22 at checkout so that you can get a 5% discount. Please enjoy the discount and your purchase directly supports the content I create in this channel. Thank you guys so much for your support and for your supporting PTCGO. In today's video, we're taking a look at Beedrill V from the ASTRAL RADIANCE expansion set. Beedrill V has 210 HP, 1 retreat cost, no resistance, and is weak to fire. It has 2 attacks. The first one is Twin Needle. For 1 grass energy, you flip 2 coins, and for each heads, this attack deals 40 damage. So depending on your coin flip, you can hit anywhere from 0 to 80 damage. And its second attack is Swarming Sting. For 2 grass and 1 colorless energy, this attack does 50 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon for each Beedrill V you have in play. What makes this attack really good is that it can hit any of your opponent's Pokemon anywhere on the board. And with all 4 Beedrill V in play, you can deal as much as 200 damage with this attack. I do have 1 copy of Telescopic Sight Tool Card. This can increase your attack damage output by 30 more damage to your opponent's bench Pokemon V or GX. This will allow Beedrill V to deal as much as 230 damage, making it possible for you to one-hit knock out most basic Pokemon V in the game. It may seem practical to add in more Telescopic Sight, but after testing, I found that Beedrill V gets knocked out very easily. This is why I focus on being more defensive with this build. So I have 3 copies of Cape of Toughness, which adds 50 more HP to your basic Pokemon. This allows Beedrill V to have 260 HP, making it harder for your opponent to knock it out. Since Beedrill V can practically attack anywhere on the board, you can even trap one of your opponent's Pokemon in the active spot, possibly a Pokemon that cannot attack you, and then just keep sniping your opponent's bench Pokemon. A great way to accomplish this is with the help of the Galarmine Stadium. This increases both active Pokemon's retreat cost by 2, making it more difficult for your opponent to retreat. One of the issues I had with building this Beedrill V is being able to accelerate energy onto it quick enough. At first, I tried this out with Gardenia's Vigor to accelerate energy, but I just never had the energies when I needed it. It is doable though. Probably run it with Eldegoss with the Cotton Lift ability to get those grass energies from your deck. But the problem is that when your opponent knocks out your attacker, it's often difficult to set up another Beedrill V to start attacking again. So I opted to pair my Beedrill V with Rillaboom instead with the Voltage Beat ability. Once during your turn, you can search your deck for 2 grass energies and attach them to one of your Pokemon. This will make it a lot easier to transition into another attacker because you will not be too worried about accelerating energy to your Pokemon. But the downside is that Rillaboom is a stage 2, so you will need to set it up as quickly as you can early on in the game. You can use the Rare Candy or the Evolution Incense to help you with that, and I added in 2 copies of Skyla to help find these trainer cards when needed, as well as 2 copies of Turffield Stadium so that you can search your deck for Rillaboom's evolution cards. Rillaboom can also attack with Hammer in for 3 grass and 1 colorless energy. This will deal 140 damage. So once we can energize Beedrill V, the next step is getting as much Beedrill V in play as fast as we can so you can deal more damage. You can of course use Quick Ball and Ultra Ball to search your deck for your Pokemon, but I also added 2 copies of Sonia. This allows you to either find 2 basic Pokemon from your deck or 2 basic energies from your deck and put them in your hand. The dual option to this card make it really good because sometimes you may just need energies more than Pokemon or vice versa. And I also have 1 copy of Hisuian Heavy Ball, which allows you to look at all of your prize cards, and if you see a basic Pokemon there, you can swap this Heavy Ball to become the prize card in exchange with a basic Pokemon you choose to put in your hand. This is great for getting your Beedrill V in case one of them gets prized. Since I'm taking this build to a more defensive approach, dealing damage to your opponent's active with Beedrill V can be a bit weak, which can leave your opponent's Pokemon V to survive an attack. And that's the reason why I also added in a backup attacker, Zarude V. It has 2 attacks. The first one is Leap to Leap. For 1 grass energy, you deal 30 damage to the active and also 30 to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. And its second attack is Jungle Rage. For 2 grass and 1 colorless energy, it deals 120 plus damage. But if your opponent's active is a V Pokemon, this attack deals 240 damage instead. The damage output is really good because it could just guarantee you a one-hit knockout against a basic Pokemon V. The main strategy I have for this build is to set up Rillaboom as soon as you can, get all 4 Beedrill V in play, trap one of your opponent's Pokemon in the active spot, and then start sniping your opponent's bench Pokemon. I have to admit this build will most likely lose to Fire-type matchups. Overall though, this Beedrill V is actually pretty fun to play and it's very consistent. I highly recommend it. And that's pretty much it. You can find the complete deck list in the description below. And now please enjoy the following gameplay videos showcasing Beedrill V. Alright, let's get right into our first match. We are going to go first. And we're going to start this one with a Zarude V in the active spot. We also got a Grookey, which is really good. And that is actually what you want to do with this build, is that you want to set up your Rillaboom line as early as possible, because you need a few components to set up your stage 2. And having Skyla in our hand is actually really good, because now we can get a rare candy, probably get a Rillaboom with our Ultra Ball. But you know what? We got a Turffield Stadium from our top deck, so we can grab a Rillaboom with that. And then I'm just gonna pass. And Zarude V is actually a really powerful Pokemon, a really powerful card in this game. With the Cape of Toughness, it puts its HP up to 270, which is really hard to knock out. And it has an attack that can deal 240 damage against a Pokemon V. So with my opponent starting with Genesect V, we might be able to get a knockout, but they are gonna Marnie. It's very uncommon for Mew VMAX to be using Marnie, but it's a good card to have, I think. That way you can shuffle your opponent's hand. But thankfully we got a rare candy from that. So as long as our Turffield Stadium sticks, we should be able to still evolve into Rillaboom and hopefully get a knockout off of their Genesect V. And being ahead in prize is a big deal, especially against this Mew VMAX matchup that we are going up against. But they have Oricorio. Genesect V is also resistance to grass, so that's minus 50 damage. 109. Yeah, we should still be able to knock out a Genesect V actually, so that's really good. As long as they cannot retreat it, we should be good to go. And we have Sonia on hand. We can get more basic Pokemon, probably set up our Beedrill, and most probably, well, we have Radiant Venusaur on hand, so that's going to help us draw into more cards. So thankfully our Turffield Stadium stayed, and we will be able to evolve into a Rillaboom now. And then I'm just gonna use Sonia to get my Beedrills. This is a Beedrill showcase after all, you know. So I'll energize 1, use Voltage Beat to put 2 grass energies to Zarude V. And then we're just gonna use Jungle Rage, dealing 190 damage, knocking out their Genesect V. That gets us our first 2 prizes. Insane. So we got an extra card from our Radiant Venusaur as well. And let's see what my opponent has in store for us. With 1 less Genesect V, it's going to be harder for them to draw into more cards. But yeah, Mew VMAX builds is not one to be underestimated. You know, it's very powerful, and Mew VMAX has a lot of HP, and you can copy Mew V's attack so that it can shuffle itself to the deck, which can avoid a knockout. But as long as we can set up our Beedrill V, most Fusion Strike builds don't use Manaphy, so we can actually target their bench easy, and they won't be able to avoid our Beedrill's attacks. But Zarude V is starting off this match really great, and as long as they can't get enough power tablets, we should be able to survive an attack. Cross Fusion Strike, Techno Blast, and they only deal 220 damage. Insane. So our Zarude V survives, which is really good. And I'm gonna target their Mew V, just because I don't want them to copy its attack where it can shuffle itself to the deck. I'm gonna energize my Beedrill, and I think I'll get another Rillaboom line going, because they might target my Rillaboom, figuring out that without anyone to accelerate energy, we might get crippled badly. But with 1 Mew V out of the way, they can knock out our Zarude V, but all we need is 2 more prizes, and if we can set up 2 extra Beedrills, we should be able to knock out a Genesect V and just knock it out for the win. But Zarude V has been carrying this matchup for sure. And like I said, Zarude V is not one to be underestimated. You know, it's a very strong card, even as a standalone. But having Beedrill is actually good because now you can also hit the bench. What I'm gonna do is actually use Radiant Venusaur for now. Nothing useful in our prizes. I'm gonna use Skyla, and then I'll just get a Quick Ball. That way I can get at least 3 Beedrills in play right now. And then I'm gonna use Voltage Beat to get 2 energies to our Venusaur. Use Pollen Hazard, dealing 70 damage with Poison Burn and Confusion. And we get to draw 3 extra cards with our Venusaur. So with that, that actually weakens their Mew VMAX very significantly. They can still retreat it though, and it has 310 HP with Oricorio. We won't be able to knock it out with our Beedrill V. They're gonna retreat, but with Cape of Toughness, I don't think they'll be able to knock it out because they're dealing with a 260 Pokemon V, 260 HP Pokemon V. So with Techno Blast, that's 210, so they need 2 power tablets to actually get a knockout here. And that's what I mean. Beedrill V is... it can get knocked out really easy, but with Cape of Toughness, you can actually go a long way with this build. So we're gonna work our way up to get another Rillaboom, just in case. And we have enough attackers ready to go. And I'm just gonna use Professor's Research. And I could use Scoop Up, I guess, to get another Beedrill V. And hit for 200 damage. I can't knock out their Genesect V because with Oricorio, yeah, I won't be able to get a knockout even if I get a Beedrill V. So I'm just gonna use Escape Rope for now. And then I'm gonna attack with Venusaur. And then go from there. Right, I can weaken their Mew VMAX. Yeah, let's do that. Weaken their Mew VMAX, and then I can knock it out with Beedrill on my next turn. So that's the plan. Because I was just gonna scoop up probably my Thwackey, and then target their Genesect V. But with Oricorio, I'm only dealing 180 damage, so it's not gonna be enough to knock it out. Okay, so what's the best plan here? They're gonna get a knockout here. Cross Fusion Strike. Okay, so they use Psychic Leap. That's gonna allow them to shuffle their Mew VMAX back to their deck, which prevents a knockout from us. Okay, that makes sense. I would do the same. And they're gonna present their Oricorio in the active spot, and I will counter that with Radiant Venusaur. We can knock out their Oricorio if we wanted to, and we'll evolve into Rillaboom. Put our other Beedrill in play, and I'll just use their Stadium. We got our Candy, which we don't really need. What I need is Ordinary Rod. That can get us another Beedrill. So I'm gonna take my chances here. I'm gonna scoop up my Venusaur, and I think I'm gonna use Marnie. We have a few cards left. Dude. I think we got this. We have Ordinary Rod. We can put our Beedrill back to the deck and 2 energies. We also have Telescopic Sight. So let's get our Beedrill with this Quick Ball first. Telescopic Sight, we should get a knockout here despite having Oricorio. Swarming Sting will deal enough damage to knock out their Mew V for the win. Alright, moving on to our next match. My opponent chooses to go first, and we're going to start this one with a Snorlax in the active spot. We have a Quick Ball and a Rare Candy. We can actually start working a way to set up our Rillaboom so that we can energize our Pokemon. Did get a Mulligan, and we got an Evolution Incense. You know, I could actually use my Quick Ball to get a Grookey, and then on my second turn I can evolve into Rillaboom. For the meantime, my opponent is going to start with his Sobble in the active spot. And they have Suicune V. Alright, Suicune V is a very powerful Pokemon card. It can deal as much as 220 damage, I think, if both players' bench are full. So we can control its damage output by limiting our benched Pokemon. However, our Beedrill V requires that we have a lot of Beedrills in play. So it's kind of like double whammy for us, because of course we want to play as much Beedrill as we can, but if we want to limit our opponent's attack damage output, we will have to put less Pokemon in play. So I guess our decision will have to rely on how my opponent sets up in the next few turns and then go from there. I mean, I have Galarmine Stadium. I could trap their Sobble. Maybe I can set up my Rillaboom as much as I can and then start attacking with Beedrill. We did get a Beedrill from our top deck though, so that's really good. So I'm going to go ahead and go with the strategy that I was thinking of. Trap their Sobble with the Galarmine Stadium. I'm going to get rid of Escape Rope so that I can get Grookey. Put this Cape of Toughness on Beedrill for now, and I'm just going to Gormandize. Okay, so we get another Grookey. We have Telescopic Sight. I could probably use Ultra Ball to get another Beedrill. And then once we use Professor's Research, hopefully we can draw into Grass Energy and then use Rillaboom to fully energize our Beedrill and attack our opponent's bench. So they're using their Inteleon with the Shady Links ability. That's going to get them 2 trainer cards from their deck. The thing with Beedrill V though is that I won't be able to knock out their Suicune V because we're only hitting for 200 damage. But with Telescopic Sight, I might just be able to snipe one of their bench Suicune V and deal enough damage for a knockout. As long as they don't have Cape of Toughness of their own, we should be able to knock out their Suicune V. But don't forget, we also have Zarude V, which can actually deal a huge amount of damage to their active Pokemon. They're going to use Escape Rope, forcing us to put our Beedrill V in the active spot. I can't sacrifice my Grookey because this one is ready to evolve. Although I have another Grookey in my hand, I don't think it's practical to sacrifice it. And anyways, my Beedrill V will survive an attack. Although not quite enough damage to get a knockout, but it is setting up for a knockout on the next turn. So at least we can evolve into our Rillaboom already, which is really good. And we have Quick Ball, which we can use to get another Beedrill. Then we can put our Telescopic Sight so it doesn't go to waste, and I'm just going to use Professor's Research. Okay, we don't get another Beedrill, but that's okay. We have Sonia, we can use that on our next turn. And then I'm just gonna energize my active, and then I think I'm gonna get a knockout off of their Drizzile because that's gonna prevent them from getting any more trainer cards from their deck. So that traps them a little bit, and that gets us 1 prize. So we actually got a Beedrill from our prize card, so that's really good. Which means we have another Beedrill in our deck. So even if they knock out our active, we have Ordinary Rod. We can get it back. We can use Sonia to get that. Or if we need energy on our next turn, we're going to be able to attack one of their Pokemon. But they're going to use Boss's Order to target our Rillaboom. But it's going to survive. Nice. 120 damage only, which is really good. And we got an escape rope from our top deck. That is insane. So our Rillaboom will be safe. And let's go ahead and use Sonia. And I think I'll get these two. I'll just put all Beedrills in play. Use escape rope. I don't have an energy on hand, so I can't energize my Beedrill just yet, but with Galar Mine Stadium in play, I might just be able to trap their Pokemon and just continue to hit their bench. So I'll energize this one with the Telescopic Sight, and I'm just going to use Swarming Sting and attack that Suicune V with energies on it. So that puts it closer to it getting knocked out, which is really good. We're doing good so far. I could have gotten a knockout with Beedrill with the one with Telescopic Sight, but we didn't have an energy on hand, so I couldn't really attack with it. Because Rillaboom can only accelerate 2 energies at a time. But that's okay. They're going to use Marnie though. That's going to shuffle our Zarude V back into the deck. But that's alright. We could just get it back. We got a quick ball. Alright, good. We got more energies in hand, so that's good. But with so many Pokemon on our bench, they will definitely get a knockout here with their Suicune V. And sure enough, this deck also uses or takes advantage of Ludicolo. So once it evolves, it can add 100 damage to their damage output. And if I have Cape of Toughness, it's not going to help if they can attack for 300 plus damage. Blizzard Rondo, okay. So that hits for 200 damage, knocking out our Beedrill V. I'm just gonna... I could use Snorlax. I could use Twin Needle to just knock out this Suicune V, but that's taking chances because sometimes Twin Needle gets 2 tails and it's really horrible. I'll just get Radiant Venusaur, that way I can draw into 2 extra cards at the end of my turn. And since we can attack with Beedrill V, I'm just going to use Swarming Sting for a guaranteed knockout. We're not going to take chances with that Twin Needle. That gets us 2 prizes. We still need 3 more prizes to go, but that's okay. Again, the Cape of Toughness really helps out. At first I had a lot of Telescopic Sight, but Beedrill V just keep getting knocked out. So Cape of Toughness is the more practical approach. Surviving attacks and just keep sniping as much as you can goes a long way. But if your Beedrill V keeps dying, you know, it doesn't matter how much you snipe, you're just gonna lose the game. So Telescopic Sight as an option is good, but focus more on increasing Beedrill V's HP. I think is more practical. So even if with a full bench on both players' side, we should be able to survive an attack. But yeah, they have access to Ludicolo, and that's gonna increase their damage output. So again, our Cape of Toughness will not matter at this point. But what we could do is actually avoid them from using that again. So if they use Scoop Up Net, they'll have to evolve the other one. So if we can eliminate the other Ludicolo line, we should be safe. And that's going to give us an extra prize. So I'm just going to trap this Suicune V for now. And I'm just going to knock out their Sobble for the meantime, because that's the one that's gonna get them the trainer cards. And then my next target will be that Ludicolo line. So unless they have the components they need to evolve into Ludicolo, they need a rare candy and also Ludicolo to evolve into. They will not be able to knock us out. And they need to get the Suicune V out of the active spot. Because it doesn't have any energies unless they play Melanie to accelerate an energy, get another energy. They'll need to evolve into Ludicolo to get more attack damage output. Because we have one less Pokemon in our bench. So that actually lowers my opponent's attack damage output. And they're just gonna pass. Okay, they can't retreat, they can't energize their Suicune V. So we're in a good spot right now. We need 2 more prizes to go. And I can actually knock out their Suicune V, but we'll need to bench 2 Beedrill Vs in play. And our bench is pretty much full, so we can't really do that. But I'll just have these 2 ready. Oh, you know what? I can just knock this guy out with Zarude V. We have the energy, we have Rillaboom, and then we can retreat with 3 energies on our Beedrill V. And we're just going to use Jungle Rage to deal 240 damage. Getting us our win. Alright, moving on to our last match. We're going to start with a Beedrill V in the active spot. I always hold off on Manaphy when I start with it, just because if I don't need it in that matchup, there's no use in filling up our bench, especially we need as much Beedrill V in play. So it looks like we're going up against Regigigas build. And they're going to start with a Registeel in the active spot. Okay. So this is a tough matchup for us because we are only taking 1 prize at a time, while my opponent can get 2 prizes when they knock out our Beedrill. But I don't think they're dealing enough damage to knock out our Beedrill with a single hit. That's a positive. On a positive note, that's at least something that we can manage. So this is a good matchup for us, I think. And as always, we're just gonna start with a Grookey so we can evolve into our Rillaboom. And I think I'll just get a Snorlax so that I can draw into more cards. I'm gonna use Escape Rope to switch out so we can conserve that energy on Beedrill V. And we're just gonna Gormandize. So at least my opponent hasn't set up their Regis just yet. So we should have a bit of time to set up ourselves. And we will be able to evolve into Rillaboom on our next turn. And with that, we can actually scoop up our Snorlax, and then we can just keep sniping my opponent's bench. Because if we can trap their active and then just snipe probably their Regigigas, we can prevent them from energizing their Pokemon. And I think the best targets to attack are the ones that cannot be can't be searched with that Stormy Mountain Stadium. Because Regidrago and also Regieleki is easy to set up. But then again, this build has a lot of ways to put all of the Regis in play. So second turn, all of the Regis are already in play. And the next step is getting all the energies they need in the discard pile so that Regigigas can accelerate them. And sure enough, they have the energies they need, so they will get a knockout off of our Snorlax. That's going to get them their first prize. Nice. Alright, cool. So that's good from our opponent. You know, Just praising our opponent for having a good setup. We have 2 Beedrills in play. We're going to evolve into Rillaboom. So now we can attack with our Beedrill V. We just need one more. We can attack for 150 damage. And I'm just going to use Professor's Research. Ooh, we didn't get another Beedrill. I wonder if we have one prized. Dude. That's awesome. Alright, cool. So we can deal 150 damage. So what I'm going to do is just use Swarming Sting to knock out their Regigigas. That's going to get us one prize. They will be able to attack with this Regidrago, but not quite enough to knock out our Beedrill V. So what we could do in our next turn is just retreat, accelerate more energies with our Rillaboom, and then just keep attacking their Energizer. Okay, so that's the plan, because if they run out of cards to set up their Pokemon, we might just be able to get ahead in prize. Because like I said, each time they knock out our Beedrill V, they get 2 prizes. But for us, we need to knock out 6 of their Pokemon for us to be able to win this game. Okay, so they drew into more cards. They're using Regice, which is actually a good counter because that prevents our Beedrill from attacking. However, we will be able to escape, so we can just do that, escape, or retreat, and then could use the Root V because they have 13 HP. I can actually use the Root V to get a double knockout. But yeah, let's just put Cape of Toughness. That's going to allow us to survive more hits. And then Voltage Beat to get 2 energies to our active Beedrill V. And again, we're going to Swarming Sting their Regigigas. We're just going to keep attacking their Energizer. Okay, so at least the path to the peak is not affecting us as much. The only Pokemon that is being affected is our Radiant Venusaur. But other than that, we are good. And we can actually bump that out with our Turffield Stadium. Okay, they got a Regirock. Trekking Shoes. They can attack with Regice again, but what I'm going to do is just continue to retreat and attack their bench. So without any Pokemon, if my opponent remains without a Regigigas, I'm thinking if we have Galarmine, we can trap one of their Pokemon, just continue to hit their bench. But I know for sure that the Regi deck has a lot of Scoop Up Net, so they could just get away with that. So we're just going to retreat our Beedrill V because it can't attack. And I'm just going to Voltage Beat 1 energy to my Beedrill V. And I'm going to Swarming Sting Registeel. So I'm just targeting the ones that are hard to put into play. And without a Regigigas, all they could do is attack with this Regice for 100 damage. And it's still not enough to knock out our Beedrill V. Unless they have Choice Belt, then they will get a knockout. But as of right now, we are doing good. Okay, they're gonna Marnie. We got a boss. Okay, well, dude, you see, Regigigas is insane. Its ability or a capability of being able to set up all 6 different types of Pokemon in play is insane. But we should be able to win this one, I think. We have the potential, because Regigigas is not... It only hits for 300 damage if it's going against a VMAX, but we have V Pokemon only, so we should be good. we're not getting knocked out as easily, and there's no Regis that are fire, so they're not hitting for weakness, which allows us to survive more hits. They will get their hands on a choice belt though, that allows them to knock out our Beedrill. So now we're only hitting for 100 damage, which is no good. We're just gonna use Ordinary Rod to get this guy back, and Manaphy is good too, especially once they start using their Regigigas. And we're just gonna recover 2 more energies from our discard pile back to the deck. We're just gonna energize our active, and I'm gonna boss the Registeel. And let's see, what's the best way to weaken their Pokemon? I'm just gonna recover as much as I can, and then Swarming Sting, their Regigigas. Most probably they have a scoop up net so they can get this Registeel out of the active spot easy. But we'll see. If not, we can knock it out, then go from there. And since Regice is the only one that's fully energized along with the Regigigas, we should be able to survive an attack or 2, even if they start attacking with it. Actually, what my opponent is doing is a dangerous position, because they're spreading so much energy in their field that if they don't have any energies to use, they won't be able to energize any more of their Pokemon. So we did get a knockout off of their Regigigas. But yeah, recovery is so good with this Regigigas build. But the next thing is that they need to find it. So if they can't find their Regigigas, they won't be able to attack us, because Registeel requires a lot of energies to retreat, and they're just going to use an attack to get the Regigigas in play. But with our Sonia, we have Escape Rope to switch out, and with another Beedrill in play, we should be able to knock out one of their other Pokemon. So we're going to continue to target the Regigigas and yeah, continue with that strategy. Hopefully we can prevent them from energizing, and then if they don't have any more recovery items, we're just gonna disable them. So they're deciding which Pokemon to put in their active spot. They're gonna go with Regice. All right, that's all right with us. And gonna energize this guy and Swarming Sting. I think we're gonna go with Regigigas. We're gonna continue with that. And we only need 1 more prize anyways. They're not gonna get a knockout here. We can just retreat and then deal 1 more knockout for the win. And even if they boss our other Beedrill with the 100 damage on it already, we have another Beedrill on our hand, so we can still hit for 150 damage, being able to knock out one of the Regis for the win. But yeah, for my opponent to constantly get all 6 Regis in play is just amazing. A good play from our opponent, but with so much HP on our Beedrill V, we actually outclassed them. And we're gonna win this one with Swarming Sting for last time, knocking out the Regigigas, getting our last prize for the win. Good game. Before ending this video, I want to thank you all so much for showing so much love for this channel. As always, before you go, make sure you are subscribed if you are not already. Make sure and leave a like. It's a simple way to help increase the algorithm to get this video to more viewers like you. And if you'd like to help support my channel even more, please check out the description of this video. You can donate to me directly through PayPal, and you can also become a member of this channel. For as low as 99 cents a month, you may be able to buy me a coffee if you'd like. And you'll also be able to get an early access to videos I've already uploaded before they are scheduled for release. Or you can also use the new Super Thanks from YouTube if you'd like to donate even further. You can also check out Redbubble, where you can buy apparel and accessories with awesome designs from me. And of course, for supporting my sponsors and partners, PTCGOstore.com and YourPlaymat.com. Links are in the description below. But you don't have to do any of those if you don't want to. I'm just really happy that you continue to take the time out of your day to watch my videos. Thank you everyone for watching, happy Pokemon gaming, and stay tuned for more videos. And that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please don't forget to smash the like button for me. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching the Popsicle Night channel, and as always, stay safe and have a great day.